Where are we going now?
We are going to military demarcation line.
Kim Jong-il instructed that the soldiers must remain alert and be prepared for combat as long as the U.S. imperialists exist on this planet.
Your political indoctrination continues when the North Koreans take you to their side of the DMZ. And going to the DMZ from the north is a completely different animal than going to the DMZ from the south. From the south, you have to go through checkpoint, 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 checkpoint. On the North Korean side, you go from Pyongyang, it's about a 2.5-hour drive. But when you go there, actually, it's a lot more laid back. Although you do notice on the drive in, there's a hell of a lot more troops on the North Korean side. And everywhere, there's these massive monuments. And you're like, what are those monuments? And they say, oh, they're filled with dynamite. And if there's ever an invasion, they blow up and they fall down and they're tank barriers.
That's the American building there, with all cameras on it.
And unlike the South Korean side, you can shoot what you want, you can point at people, you can give them the finger, you can do whatever you want, you can drink beer. Basically, it's a big fuck you to the South, it's a big fuck you to the Americans.
We're in Panmunjom, in the demilitarized zone, where the armistice was signed between the DPRK and the UN.
The US had a great laws, so they proposed to us to have the armistice talks in June 1951.
All they want to do is tell you about how bad the Americans are. This is where we defeated the American, imperialist aggressors. This is where North Korea shut down the biggest military power in the world. And that's what everything's designed to do.
We're on night vision because there's no electricity in Panmunjom. We got in trouble for shooting. They said we might get charged for a criminal offense, so I'm trying to do this as quietly as possible. So we have to go now because the guards are mad.
All you hear in the DMZ is talk of reunification.
So now we are trying to reunify the country as soon as possible.
Is this a political thing? Like, are you trying to reunify? They won't mention just reunify.
You think one day they will be unified?
Of course, yes, why not? The master of the Korean Revolution are the masters of the Korean people. And we have the leader, we have the army, we have the party.
At that point you go, these guys are serious, serious dudes. And then on the way back, you stop off and you have a meal, and they're like, "Oh, you're hungry? Hey, let's just stop at any old restaurant." And they're pretending like this is like any restaurant. We just showed up. Hey, McDonald's on the side of the road. But let's say there's 7 of you. You get to the restaurant. There's 7 places laid out, and the whole other restaurant's empty. It's been choreographed. They've been waiting for you for 2 days, all set up. The whole restaurant waiting to go.
We're in Kaesong, in a nice restaurant. We just had a lovely meal.
You have lunch, which is like 50 plates of little shit. Again, you can't eat any of it, but it's like, just look how much food we have. We're so great.
Kind of quiet.
So, your first 2 days there, you're like, crazy food, politics. Crazy food, politics. So you start to get a bit freaked out at this point.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
And then on the way back, thinking this is the 4th largest army in the world all along this border, and they've threatened America with nukes and Japan with nukes. I'm like, how can they have nukes? They don't have electricity. It's like turn-of-the-century industrial Britain. How do they have nukes?
The Korean people have leader Kim Jong-il in high esteem, who has strengthened and developed the Workers' Party of Korea as the party of President Kim Il-sung forever. This is the fortune and glory of Korea.